What's up, YouTube? This is Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris, coming at you with a brand new video. Might sound a little bit under the weather. I've been battling a cold for the past, let's say about 3 or 4 days. So I haven't come on to make a video. I've been kind of just, did the JLS live show, and wanted to come on and make some extra videos, but I haven't had a chance to do it. So I'm doing it now because I have a little bit of time. And then I also uploaded one that I had shot last week. Basically a week ago today, and just, like I said, I haven't had the time to kind of go ahead and upload it and get it all together and edit it, all that, fun stuff that we all do. So this haul is just going to be new books that I picked up over the last 3 weeks, and yeah, I've been falling behind with that, the new hauls and everything like that, and kind of come to a realization that I don't have as much time as I used to, because of my daughter and everything like that. She's a handful. She's 6 months old, so she's not quite to the point where she's walking or anything like that. We still got a while to go before that happens, but she also has a cold as well, and so just in dealing with her with that and everything has just been kind of a tough time, just because she's so little and she doesn't really, for a little kid, for a baby basically, to have a cold, it's really rough, just because we can blow our noses, we can get all that stuff out, she really can't, and so all she knows is she doesn't feel good, and she's miserable when it came down to that feeling. So she's on the upswing, which is good, as am I. So I hope that by the beginning to maybe like Wednesday, everything will be completely out. We'll be back to 100%, and everything will be a little bit easier around here. But I just wanted to take a moment and kind of let everybody know what's going on with me, and just kind of basically come to grips with reality that I'm gonna keep doing my channel like that. This isn't like I'm walking away from it. Absolutely not. I still I'm on the JLS live show every week. I'm still picking up books, I'm still making videos, I'm still, looking for my top 10 list and everything like that. So, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm just going to, hopefully, be able to make it. I don't want to promise and say every week there'll be a video, because there may be, there may not be. It just depends on what's going on as far as, family and work and all the rest of that type of stuff is concerned. So, I'm going to make as many videos as I can, as frequently as I can. So if you end up missing a video, or if I end up missing one, just know that I will be back to put it out there to, go ahead and, show off the books that I got, whether it's from 3 weeks ago, from 2 weeks ago, from whenever it is, I'll show it. So in this, I'm just going to show the new books that I picked up over the past 3 weeks. I've also picked up some back issues as well. I'll do a little small back issue haul. There's not quite as many of those, but I did get some stuff in the mail, so I'll combine that together, to kind of make a more full, fleshed out video. But without any further ado, some of these are going to be a little bit old, so, just, bear with me. But first book that I wanted to show is, the Marvel Tentacular that kind of works, right? It's hard to do it on the, it's hard to do it on the, camera here, but, so we got Marvel Legacy #1. I read through this. It was all right. It wasn't completely earth-shatteringly good. It has good moments. It had some moments where it kind of dragged on, but a lot. Marvel has a lot to prove. They've done a lot to make people upset, and they have to go ahead and make things right if they want to keep fans loyal to them. But who knows? They've promised some big things with this, so who knows? Next up, we have Thanos this is number 11. Really cool series, really fun. Definitely, Thanos is definitely one of my top 3 villains of all time. I love Thanos. So as long as I keep making the book, I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm just all in for a Thanos thing. Then we have Flash #31. I like this cover. This is the actual regular cover, so that looks really, really cool. Definitely something that I think this was more expressive than the other cover, the variant that they had. Really cool, just overall. The Flash rings on the ground, it's all bloody. But what's funny about Flash is and I don't know exactly which issue it was, but they always have like so if you look at the blood, it's got a very like Venom-like quality, like the symbiote quality, where it's just like, you see the like the blood's just kind of rising up, you know what I mean? Almost kind of like, a symbiote kind of, bonding to a new host or whatever. But I've noticed that, they always kind of use that, like, when it comes to like liquids and stuff like that. Like there was like a Venom, almost like kind of like a Venom ripoff, way back. I want to say around somewhere in the teens, and then it was just like, it was weird. Like I don't know what they're doing with that. Like I don't know if it's just something that they think looks good, but it's just kind of strange to see it like that. Like that's the first thing that pops in my head. But next we have Spider-Gwen number 24. So this is the first appearance of Gwenom. I don't know if they're going to consider this a cameo, because I know that issue 25 is, I guess, the real big, full-out reveal. And I think that what they're going to do is just potentially, I mean, we have to keep our eye on CGC for this one, but potentially they're going to go ahead and just be like, you know what, this is the cameo, this is the, then that's the first appearance. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know for sure like what it initially is going to be, but I'm just kind of looking at it objectively and hoping that it all works out. But next up, we have a few books that I picked up last week. So I start off with Darth Vader number 6. Really cool cover. You see like the helmet's in, cut in half by a lightsaber, and this is a character named the Inquisitor. So definitely something cool. Like I like what they're doing with this. Like, it's funny because you figure his story's all told. Like I've said this before, his story's already told, and this is kind of just like, I guess the moment in between, or the moments in between, Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. And I mean, they're doing a really, really good job with Darth Vader. It's a great series. I want to say the Star Wars books, I think in general, are doing really, really well. But for me, I think the Darth Vader book is the strongest out of them all. Next up, we have Old Man Logan. This is issue number 29. Love this cover. You see Maestro standing over Wolverine, definitely Old Man Logan. But then, not sure who this is on the ground. Could be Hawkeye. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure. But nice Mike Deodato Jr. cover. He's a really good artist. I have a book of his, an art book of his somewhere, and I think I've showed it off a while ago. But really, really cool cover artist, really good artist. Mike Deodato Jr. has some really nice stuff that he does. But the Old Man Logan storyline has been really good. Really kind of a fun read. But now that Wolverine is back in the universe, hey, you've had plenty of time to read Legacy 1. That's what happens. It's going to be funny to see, if they're going to just kind of push Old Man Logan to the back, or if he's going to stay around and then kind of interact with, real regular Logan, who's back in continuity. But moving on, we have another one here. Now, this is the first book that I've bought that has anything to do with metal. And the reason I did it is because I saw a preview, and I decided that, it sounded like a pretty cool story. I wanted to check this out. I had looked through Red Death. It was okay. Murder Machine, I didn't like. I thought that was ridiculous. So then I went ahead and I got this one here. So Dark Knight, Dawnbreaker, and nice little chromium cover, very 90s. I read through this, and it wasn't. It started out really good, and then it kind of just like tapered off, and it wasn't that good at all. It wasn't terrible, but I mean, I figured it would have been cool. Like I did like how you have Batman, who Bruce Wayne watches his parents die. They take it back to Crime Alley. And then, instead of, being afraid, he's just angry. And it's just like, a power ring comes flying down, and it's like, you have the ability to overcome great fear. And it gets onto him, and then so he puts on the ring, and then almost instantly realizes that it's like this, super powerful weapon, and he wants to try to kill the guy that killed his parents. So then he, goes ahead and he overpowers the ring, and ends up, being able to use it to be lethal and kill things. So from there, it started out kind of cool from there, but then it got kind of really, it went to off the rails, where it's just like, you kind of see what would happen if Oh, I wouldn't say necessarily Parallax, because Parallax is kind of pretty much the same thing. But I guess you get to see what would happen if Batman actually was a Lantern and then kind of just lost control and became murderous and everything like that. It was alright. I mean, Metal for the most part, I see that they're trying to build up to something big and good. I just think that, I wonder if the payoff is going to be worth all the time that's been invested into it. That's just my question on it. Next up, we have Green Lanterns number 32. Love this series. I'm a really big fan of just the Green Lanterns. I like this cover too. This is just again the regular cover. The variant for the last couple haven't been all that great, but the regular covers are pretty good. So really cool series. Definitely one to be picking up. Next we have Batman number 32. Still with the war, jokes and riddles. Really cool cover here. Again, regular cover, not the variant. I thought about getting the variant, but I was like, the regular cover I think looked a little bit better. I like the portrait of the Joker and the Riddler and everything, and then you see Batman with blood on his hands. So it's like, oh, what's going on here? And then follow that up, we have So this is I Hate Fairyland, I Hate Image special, and I got the Walking Dead, the Walking Dead tribute cover here. Walk to Walking Dead 100. Really funny book. Overall, it's just like fun to see how she interacts with all the different Image characters and ends up, basically murdering them all. I think actually one of the funniest parts is when she does stumble into the Walking Dead. That's actually really fun, a really fun scene to check out. She also runs into Spawn and Invincible, all these different people. It's a pretty fun book. So if you can check it out, if you can see it, it's worth it. It's definitely worth checking out. If you're a Scotty Young fan, it's a must, because it's really cool to see how he draws and interprets other Image characters and stuff like that. Next up, we have Holly and Ivy Meet Betty and Veronica, number 1. I bought this just because of the fact that it's an Adam Hughes cover. I don't have many, and you don't see too many hit the stands. So it's just really, really nice art on this cover. Really fun book. And, I just looked at it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get this just because it's cool to have some Scotty Young. It's cool to have Scotty Young, yes. But it's also cool to have some Adam Hughes when it's affordable and when you can get it. So, I'm a big Adam Hughes fan. I think that he's got some really, really nice art. Just unfortunately, what happens is that he ends up putting these things out as 1/100s or whatever. Oh, not even him. DC or, put these covers out as these really special limited variants, and they get expensive and you can't buy them. So, alright, next up we have a book that I actually could have picked this up last week, but I picked this up this week. Actually I have one other one that I picked up last week too as well that I didn't show, and that is Spirits of Vengeance. This little mini series that was limited, that's limited in the Marvel Legacy. I'm trying to think who this looks like. Mosa? I don't know. Not sure who did this cover, but it's a really cool looking cover. The cover that I wanted to get, that I was actually disappointed that I couldn't get, that I didn't get, was the cover swipe of Giant Size X-Men that Ken Lashley had done for Spirits of Vengeance. It looked awesome. And unfortunately, it was one of the lenticulars, however you want to say it. It was one of those lenticular covers that, unfortunately, Marvel put on a really cheap paper quality. And so you can't see the image. The images blend together, and you can't see one over the other. So it sucks because those are the incentive variants. Those are the ones that they made all the shop owners pay extra to get. And nobody's buying them. At least in my shops, no one's buying them. They're just sitting on the shelves. I talked to one of my shop owners. I was like, hey, man, it's like, you get a lot of these hit. And he's like, don't even talk to me about them. He was mad. He was really angry because of the fact that they had to order extra books in order to get those, special covers that really just, Marvel dropped the ball on. So my advice on those lenticular covers is that when you end up getting a chance to get them, there should be, in my area, they're abundant. I would say just wait a couple months. They're going to be dollar bin stuff. They're going to be in the dollar bin soon enough because nobody's buying up here. I don't know about anybody else. I mean, if you guys have bought them, or if you have any kind of, I guess if they're selling out in your area, let me know. But as far as I know, like there's an abundance of them up here. But anyway, but yeah, so Spirits of Vengeance #1. I figure that's a pretty cool looking team, and I wanted to see what would happen next with that. So really excited about that miniseries. Next up, we have Batman White Knight #1. This is the variant cover. Really cool looking one. Look at it. Joker vandalized the Batmobile, said you had your chance. This is actually a really good book. This is actually a really interesting series. Different take on everything, where it's just basically it is looked at as who is actually the true enemy of Gotham. And in the book, it's funny because it's obviously the Joker and Batman, battling, but the Joker has a different perspective on it, and he's like, you know what? You're the problem. You've been the problem the whole time. And he's like, he basically says that, that Batman is the biggest enemy that Gotham's ever faced. And so what happens is that Joker is now taking medication to kind of suppresses his madness. And, he actually comes out of it more coherent and actually, learns about the law, represents himself in an appeal court, gets himself off of, being in, basically takes himself off of appeals and wins so that he's no longer in jail. And now he basically is saying that he's going to turn things around and become the White Knight of Gotham instead of the Dark Knight that Batman's been. So he's going to be the savior of the city. And it's definitely it's a direction that you've never seen the Joker ever taken in, where he's rational, sane, and actually looking to clean up the city, and now has turned everything to where Batman used to be the hero, but now people are looking at him like, no, he's actually not the hero. Look at all the stuff he's done. Look at all the people he's hurt. Look at all the damage he's done to property and things like that. He's operated, unchecked for all these years, and what's come of it? Like what good has it done? And it's funny too because just the way he goes about it, and a lot of people, in the book, the cops are just like, what are you talking about? Like he's not one of us, and like, yes he is. Like look at and it's really cool because he breaks down how basically Batman is tied in with the police as much as they want to be like, oh, he operates on his own. They're like, no, but you guys kind of let him operate that way. And it's a good read. Like definitely interesting. I know I've given away too much of the story right now, just saying everything, but definitely check it out. Trust me, you'll like it. And it's made by Sean Gordon Murphy, who actually also did Tokyo Ghost. Really cool art style there, and overall just a really good read. So check that out. Next, you have a book from this week. You have Amazing Spider-Man #789. So this is, with the legacy numbering, so now we're back to, regular continuity numbering, apparently, depending on the series. I've been collecting Amazing Spider-Man the whole way through. This isn't I don't think this is Alex Ross on this cover, though. But it's still a nice cover. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read that and check that out. Next up, we have, this is Flash #32. This is the variant of this one that I like this one better. I think this is kind of cool with the different contrast and colors and everything. Definitely really cool looking cover. And then also, and I got this just because I like Vietnam stories, so I picked up Punisher: The Platoon. Thought that this is going to be kind of cool to see. A little bit maybe of a retelling in certain ways, depending on if you read Warzone, War Journal, and all those ones where they kind of go back to his Vietnam days, and maybe like a little bit of a variation of the Punisher's history. So, it's written by Garth Ennis, so it's going to be nice and gritty and stuff like that. So, and it's it says it right there, like not for kids, explicit content, Max Comics. So, definitely a fan of that type of stuff. Just an uninhibited, unchecked, Punisher. It's always fun to sit there and read, just stories about him without having, that are adult themed, that aren't, kind of like held back by a certain constraints because they're just regular. This is definitely not for kids. So just make sure that if you're somebody who lets kids read your comics, like, don't let them read this type of stuff. It's bad, or it's a little bit too mature for them. Let's put it that way. But anyway, with that, I am going to get going. Like I said, I do have some back issues that I need to show off, and I'll be doing that within the next couple of days. I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm going to do it tonight, tomorrow, or something like that, because I'm actually kind of busy. But I will get on to do that as quickly as I can, just so that I can, be open and free for the next week's haul, and try to just be more consistent. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, this has been Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris, and I hope everybody has a good end to their weekend. I'm about to get ready to go watch the Pats. Hopefully they, show up and do well. You never know with them, especially this year. The defense is kind of suspect, but that's all right. I'm hoping that we make it deep into the playoffs and get another ring, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. This has been Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'm out. See you later.